What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, with this video, we are jumping into DC's round robin winner, Robin's issue number 2. Now, if you did not catch issue number 1, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that happened in the first issue. But what we see is the former Robins launch into action after the assault at Dick Grayson's apartment. A victim, Lou DeCane, someone that Dick Grayson has known for quite some time, someone he faced off in his early days of being Robin, but someone assassinated him right there in his apartment. And the readers get a view of who this individual might be, claiming to be a Robin, claiming to be the first Robin, appearing to be absolutely psychotic. Not knowing the identity, our Robins are on the hunt. And so, with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with our Robin that we don't really know, claiming to be the first Robin. Obviously, she's evil. Obviously, she's a bad guy. She just murdered this guy in Dick Grayson's apartment. And by the time our Robins had jumped into action, our assassin had already fled, jumping down to ground level and blending in with all of the other churchgoers that are currently going in and out of churches. And so with our Robins not having any lead on where to go next, they go to the next place they know where they can get some leads. And that place is the Batcave, with Damian, Tim, and Jason all showing up to try to convince Batman to use the computer, to use the Bat computer to try to find out who this individual is, what their end goal is, and how they can bring them down. But in doing this, in asking this question, Batman snaps at them in anger, yelling no at them and telling them that someone has breached this network. Despite all of his protocols, despite all of the advanced security he has on this system, someone has broken into it. Not sure if it has been weeks or days or whatever the case may be. Not sure how far the attacker got or what information was taken, saying that this attack may seem personal, but they have no idea who this might be. This could be anyone from Prometheus to Brainiac. And so for now, he is asking all of them to stand down, to not pursue this case any further, at least until he knows who they are up against. And this is when he turns to Tim Drake and tells him that he needs a promise, because both Damian and Jason, they would lie about this. Tim Drake, on the other hand, when he makes a promise like this, he is someone that is going to keep it. But before he even gets that opportunity, we have Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, come sliding down, and he lets him know that they will not be investigating this any further. Also letting him know that they will lay low like he is asking, or at least as low as someone can lie when you are a bunch of Robins and a previous circus performer. And with Batman going ahead and taking off, linking up with Cyborg at the Hall of Justice, making sure that the League's mainframe had not been tapped into. And when he goes to make his exit, he has to ask the question, why were all you guys together in the first place? Now, not letting Batman in on their little Robin get-together, this is something that they want to keep just to themselves. Now, of course, all of the other Robins, they are absolutely livid that Dick Grayson just sidelined them from this entire investigation. As he waves goodbye to Batman, he lets all of them know that he will meet them in the back delivery bay. Stephanie will be waiting to take them out with the spoiler mobile, because it is the only vehicle they have between them that Bruce Wayne cannot track. Meanwhile, we are picking up at an undisclosed location, and this is where we have our villainous Robin, and she is currently having a bunch of individuals, low-end villains, working on her side. Now, these guys are absolutely concerned that they are going to be punished for letting Lou escape. But at the end of the day, it all worked out in her favor. And so there is no punishment for them. They will only be rewarded. And while she is rewarding them, she taps into her computer and she opens the files named Gauntlets. And so what is happening here, it is appearing that our little villainous Robin here has access to the Bat computer, or at least had access to the Bat computer, enough to get all of the information on all of the Robins that have ever worked under Batman. And so what this tells me is this isn't necessarily the first Robin. This is just a crazy person who believed they should have been the first Robin. They should be the only Robin, so on and so forth. And now they are going over all of the gauntlets of each one of our Robins, trying to figure out their weaknesses, trying to figure out their strengths, in an effort to be able to defeat them all. And so picking up with our Robins, we are picking up with all of them piling in to a minivan. Now, of course, this isn't anything like the Batmobile. The Spoiler-mobile is simply just a regular car, a regular minivan, one that Batman has no taps on. And as everyone is piling into the car, Damian is letting Dick know how awesome it was that he actually lied to Batman, how he disobeyed a direct order. Even Jason jumps in, calling him Clayface because it is so out of character for him to do something like that. But Dick Grayson, he lets us know that he was able to read Bruce. Even through the mask, he could tell that Bruce Wayne was scared. And when he is scared, he lashes out in anger. And if their job is to keep Batman from falling into darkness, Batman is going to need their help, whether he likes it or not. Now, this is when we go over the first gauntlet. The first gauntlet being Dick Grayson. Robin was given the task of evading Batman for a single night in Gotham City for 6 hours. In the midst of all of this, Robin witnessed a gangland murder perpetrated by a group of enforcers that were led by Lou. And with Robin engaging alone, he came into possession of evidence that made him a target for the boss. Robin, determined to stay in the game, he did not let Batman know, instead leaving clues behind to help him solve the case. And so the assessment is that Dick Grayson, aka this Robin, is dutiful and obedient, but will always choose his heart over the letter of the law. Now, our Robins are trying to piece together any information they can get. Before the Bloodhaven Police Department was able to come in and take Lou's body, Dick Grayson was able to go through his pockets and he found something that gives them a clue on the next direction that they are going to go. Now, Jason Todd is the one that really solves this clue. From his days working in the underground, from his days being around all of the villains, he leads them to a mortuary in Gotham that also used to act as a chop shop, and it specialized in hard to find items. That is, at least before they had all gotten busted. And that'll bring us to gauntlet number 2, Jason Todd. Now, on Jason's first patrol as Robin, he responded to a scream from a downtown penthouse suite. Robin had discovered Gloria Stanson. Frightened and hurt, he brought her in, and the attacker was Felipe Garzonas. Bringing him in for questioning, this is when it was discovered that he is the son of Jose Garzonas, ambassador who was able to make some calls and get all of the charges dropped. And so with Gloria absolutely terrified of the repercussions that might be coming her way, she ends up killing herself. With Robin confronting Felipe, that is where Felipe had fallen to his death. Robin insisting that it was an accident. Evidence supports the contrary belief. And so the assessment is, despite new circumstances, Robin's view of everything, especially justice, is formed by his experience on the streets. Now, picking up with our Robins, they are making their way into the cemetery. As they make their way in here, Stephanie Brown, aka Spoiler, is having a conversation with Tim Drake, letting her know that she is really concerned about the things that had happened in City Hall, with the devotee of anarchy coming in and threatening to be a suicide bomber, hoping that she was able to reach this individual, hoping she was able to reach out and stop this from happening. But what she saw was more than anything devotion to a cause. Now, Stephanie Brown was able to stop her, but this has been concerning her ever since it happened. Now, Tim Drake lets her know that the DOA, they recruit the most susceptible individuals by giving them a friendly face. It started out as a group of individuals doing puppy larceny on message boards, and it grew into what it is currently today. Now, of course, this is something that Tim Drake is going to know, being the computer genius that he is. Now, Tim Drake, he is a very unique Robin because after Jason Todd, he insisted that he become the new Robin. And it didn't take long for his parents to eventually end up kidnapped by Innocente, the crime lord known as Obia Man. Now, Batman was able to catch this individual and have him imprisoned for his crimes. But when Batman was imprisoned by the Scarecrow, it was Tim Drake who was able to free them. That was the day that he was reborn. That was the day he recognized that he was no longer a kid. And of course, picking back up with our Robins, they are currently looking around the cemetery for any kind of clue on what they should be looking for. And as they look around, Spoiler accidentally triggers a booby trap. Triggering this booby trap, Dick Grayson tells everyone that they need to be careful, Damian chiming in, saying that Spoiler should probably go home, considering she lacks any of the actual formal training that any of the other Robins have. And of course she takes offense to this, with Dick Grayson just currently breaking the rules, and now she breaks the rules and nobody cheers for her. She thinks that this is a double standard, but the reality is she could have got very hurt here. And Damian isn't wrong. Spoiler, she may be awesome, Stephanie Brown may be a dope Robin, but at the end of the day, in comparison to all of the other Robins, she is just not on the same level. And that'll take us to gauntlet number 4, which will be Stephanie Brown. Now, first meeting Stephanie Brown, she tried to spoil the plans of her father, the criminal known as Cluemaster. And when an assassin named Matt Shaddid, aka Scarab, had targeted suspected Robins, it was her and Batman who went to take him down. And in this, Stephanie ends up saving Batman's life by disobeying orders and not staying out of the way. And so the assessment for her is that it's not so much Stephanie is quick to break the rules, as that her actions brought into sharp focus the difference between her and all of the other Robins. She isn't getting revenge for her parents, she is getting revenge against them. Now, as our Robins begin to investigate a building that is in the cemetery, it appears that there are 4 individuals. These 4 individuals being the ones that were at the gauntlets. The ones that made our Robins into who they are. Now, Stephanie has to ask the question, why isn't Damian's guy in there? Why doesn't Damian have a gauntlet victim who is currently locked up? And that is because Spoiler doesn't have access to all of the information, not like everyone else does. And so because of that, she does not know that Damian's gauntlet was in fact Tim Drake. And that will take us to gauntlet number 5. Batman has a son, and being raised by Talia al Ghul, being the grandson to Ra's al Ghul, trained to be an assassin, he had no intention of allowing Damian to fight by his side, much less as a Robin, but he demanded it. And when he was away, Damian had attacked Tim Drake. With no plan to test him, Damian demanded the test. And in this test, he beat the crap out of Tim Drake. And so the assessment for him is in that moment, his every instinct must have been screaming for him to finish the job, to end his rival's life. Now, was this an act of mercy that he did not do it? Or was it a plan to infiltrate Batman and his entire organization? Now, with our Robins getting closer to this facility, this is where they run into Giggles and Guffa, Kitten, Chick, and Honeysuckle, the low-time villains that are working for our villainous Robin. They're more than anything wannabe villains, sidekicks that just do the bidding of anybody who can boss them around. The junior super criminals, if you will. And without wasting any time, our Robins go in to start cracking some skulls. And as this fight is getting underway, we see two of them. They run into a building. Running into this building, Jason Todd is in hot pursuit behind them. With him running in, kicking down the door, he sees these two individuals talking about how they have a huge affection for the Clown Prince, aka the Joker. They did everything they could to get close to him, endured things to hear his laugh. But when you love something so much, sometimes you just want to become it. And we see the two of them, they transform themselves into two versions of the Joker. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, it really didn't give us any more information on who this new villainous Robin is. But what it did do is really give us just more depth to who the Robins are. What made them the Robins that they are today. We went over every single one of their gauntlets, what made them Robin. The only thing is, our villainous Robin has been going over all of this information. So she or he has been learning this entire thing the entire time. They have been learning everything they can to manipulate and take down every one of our Robins. With 4 issues left, it is going to be quite interesting to figure out who this is. But it's looking more and more like they are not retconning that Dick Grayson is the first Robin. What it looks like is this Robin is just completely insane, believing that they should be Robin, and the others are just not worthy of it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.